Back with another one. All praise to the Most High. All praise and thanks to the God of Moses and Abraham. I like to say I love my mother, I love my father, I love our son, and have love for the mother of our son. This video is entitled County of Marin Board of Supervisors, County of Marin Administrator, the Marin County Sheriff's Office, and the relation, bad cop and good cop relationship. So it's been a topic of discussion, sheriff's oversight in Marin County. And this has been something that's been going on for the past couple years. And before then, the need for a sheriff's oversight committee. And there's also been an assembly bill here, Assembly Bill 1185, to create a oversight committee over the Marin County Sheriff, and with some kind of subpoena power. So you could look on here on this website here and click on this, Marin County. So yes, this is needed with all the racial disparities and the discrimination here in Marin County, and the Marin County Sheriff being engaged in that. And you could ask the population in Marin City and also in the Canal, which is a Latino neighborhood in San Rafael. So that would be a good starting point to speak with the people in those communities on their opinion of the Marin County Sheriff and their procedures and how they deal with people of color. I wanted to add to that although that is needed, the general idea is that you would need to have a whole oversight committee over the whole county of Marin, including the board of the supervisors, including the county administrator, including the Department of Finance, and to be able to have an oversight committee over the whole county of Marin. It is important because the public has expressed that they want a oversight committee over the sheriff, but the real need is to have an oversight committee over the whole county. So the county of Marin will be a subdivision or political subdivision of the state, where California has 52 or 53 counties, calling themselves a unit of the state. As stated in the other video that we made, is the Marin County Council a tax exempt organization? No. Is the County of Marin a tax exempt organization? They're not either. So hence you would need to have an oversight committee over the County of Marin itself. The reason being is that them not being a tax exempt agency, the public thinks that they are. But since they're not, there's a lot of stuff going on with the tax stuff, because they're not paying taxes, and people are thinking, okay, well, this is a political subdivision of the state, they're exempt from the tax. But that's not the case when you run that through the IRS. So the title of this video was something to do with good cop, bad cop in the County of Marin and the Board of Supervisors. So I'll just generally glaze over some of the terms that we spoke of in the other video. So the tax crimes: conspiracy to defraud the government claims, false, fictitious, or fraudulent claims, conspiracy to commit offense or to defraud U.S. public money, property, or records, mail fraud, frauds and swindles, fraud by wire, radio or television, bank fraud, mail fraud, attempt and conspiracy, laundering of monetary instruments, prohibition of illegal money transmitting business, drug abuse prevention and control, prohibited acts A, attempt to evade or defeat tax, willful failure to collect or pay over tax, willful failure to file return, supply information, fraud and false statements, attempts to interfere with the admin of tax laws. So yes, paybacks, kickbacks, money laundering, that would all be discovered if you audited these Board of Supervisors and County Administrator, the Department of Finance, Mina Martinovich and Sandra Katros. They're not playing by the rules that they're enforcing on people. So let me give you the definition, just a random of good cop versus bad cop. So this is just off of Google, the AI part. In the phrase good cop, bad cop, a good cop refers to a person in a negotiation or interrogation who adopts a friendly, sympathetic approach, while a bad cop takes a more aggressive, threatening stance, often used as a tactic to pressure the other person into compliance. Essentially, one person plays the role of being kind and understanding, while the other acts harshly to create contrast and elicit a desired response. So in this case, the good cop would be the County of Marin, the Board of Supervisors, and the administrators in the Department of Finance, because they're saying to the public, we need the sheriff to have an oversight committee, which is true, but that is a ploy to take the negative attention off of them. And then both being not tax exempt entities, it would be better for them to focus the attention onto the sheriff. And the sheriff is essential in the duties they do, but them not being tax exempt just opens up another can of worms. So the bad cop would be the sheriff in this situation, where the sheriff is the enforcement for the county. However, you would think of it as the movie The Godfather, where you had Don Corleone. That would be more like the County of Marin and the Board of Supervisors and the administrator in the Department of Finance. And then you have Luca Brasi, which would be the law enforcement, which is the County of Marin. So while everyone is focusing on the sheriff doing this and that and whatever they're doing that's negative, no one is looking at what the county board of supervisors are doing. And that's what would be needed, is to audit them and audit all of them involved to see what is going on. They do print out a CAFR, which is a comprehensive annual financial review that they do every year to show their spending. But this is something to give the idea to the public that, okay, we're on our job. But with this, them not being tax exempt and them not giving 1099s to the people they're engaged in business within, them not being tax exempt, this would have to come under focus, because this is some kind of money laundering thing they have, where the public believes that, okay, this is a political subdivision that has the sovereign powers of the state. But if they don't have a tax exempt designation, none of these agencies are claiming, or who they're claiming to be. So this is the good cop, bad cop, that they're both playing the role to have the public fooled with the whole CAFR thing. But the reality is that if you audited the county council, you audited the board of supervisors, you audited the Department of Finance, you will see that there's a lot of things that aren't going correct. the stuff that they're involved in is basically money laundering. So if one were to audit these people, this would all be discovered. But more than likely, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but it's not likely because the records are kept secret and private. And the county council gives them the legal advice to stop people from getting these public disclosures. So what they will say is, we can't give you that information because it will be a threat to public interest and public safety. But the reality is that the way that they're operating is a threat to public interest and a threat to public safety, because you have these entities that are not tax exempt enforcing these rules, these codes, and these ordinances, which are not law. The law is a constitution and what God has prescribed. And they're not playing by their own game, meaning that they're laundering the money. They're saying that this money is going here and there, and they're cooking the books in audit terms, meaning that, or in financial terms, that the books are skewed or they're fooling the people with the books. So that is what I wanted to point out with the good cop, bad cop thing. The county staff has to make it seem that they're in aligned with the sheriff, looking as if, they're the bad cop. But they have to play it delicately to where they're not against the sheriff. So it's almost like devil's advocate, where they're playing this role, or they're acting under color of law, meaning it's not really law, to have these people fooled. So that's what I wanted to share. Um, the idea is that it is essential for the oversight committee of the sheriff. However, it's more essential to have an oversight committee over the whole county of Marin. The board of supervisors, the county administrator, department of finance, to look into their accounting and what's going on, since they're not tax exempt, and since their agencies have refused to fill out a W-9 to figure out their tax exempt status. So what one could do is, under these agencies, under the umbrella of the County of Marin, could get I believe it's a 4506 form from the IRS to find out the tax exemption or the status of these organizations under the county. By them refusing to fill out a W-9, which is a request for taxpayer information, this is an introduction to the fraud. And that would just be the rabbit hole to where you'll probably discover kickbacks, money laundering, bribery, bribes, and all the above. And I wanted to express that. So, as stated redundantly, we need the oversight committee for the sheriff, but it just seems that this is something that they don't want to have done, because if it was something that the County of Marin and the Board of Supervisors wanted done, they would make it with haste. But it's not in the best interest of the people or the alleged residents of this county to have that information or to have that power. But the people are sovereign under the Constitution more than the county and their de facto or color of law agencies. So once again, I don't wake up or make it my business to talk bad about these people, Brian Washington or Renee Giacomini Brewer of the County Council, or Sheriff Scardina of the Marin County Sheriff's Office, or his former Robert Doyle, the former sheriff, or the people Roy Given, Mina Martinovich, or Sandra Kacharos. of the Marin County tax collector and Department of Finance. But when you have information, one has to free the people. So, even though I'm saying these things, I want to share that with the people with the knowledge that God has given me to express. So once again, being that none of these agencies are tax exempt, this is something that the public should know, and the public should hold the fire to their feet to get them to do what they're supposed to do. So in a sense, this is their duty because they sworn an oath to the Constitution, but obviously that's not the case. So once again, may God forgive me if I said anything wrong. I wanted to share my knowledge with the people. So please like and subscribe. And forgive me if I've, may have went on some tangents with this video, but I wanted to, share this with you. Thank you for your time and take care. Bye.